स्वरं लयं शुभं शिवं वरं नवं स्वरं लयं शुभं शिवं वरं नवं भावरागताल सङ्गीतं सुखं भावरागताल सङ्गीतं सुखं संस्कृतं भजेऽहं काव्यकलाभरित संस्कृतं भजेऽहं संस्कृतं भजेऽहं संस्कृतं भजेऽहं संस्कृतं भजेऽहं संस्कृतं भजेऽहम्.
Namaste everyone. Welcome back to Samskrta Samaaropaha. Namaste Rohit ji.
Namaskaraha.
So should we start with children? Children are ready with their costume, their attire. So this is 75 years of Indian independence, and we are definitely very happy to be talking about our freedom fighters through Sanskrit, in the language Sanskrit. So we have Aryashri from Bengaluru, who will be presenting us as the first freedom fighter. Aryashri.
Hari Om. Today I will be talking about Maharana Pratap. सीसोदिया कुलभूषणस्य परमदेशभक्तस्य महाराणा प्रतापस्य नाम को वा न जानाति अस्मिन् जगति। अनेन परमवीरेण स्वजन्मभूमि परतन्त्र्य पाशेभ्यः भोक्तुं प्राणनेन कृतानि। तदेव अनेन मुगलशासकस्य अक्बरस्य आक्रमणस्य अवसरे चित्तोड्गढ राज्यस्य रक्षणार्थं पत्ताजयमलयोः नियुक्तिं कृत्वा पलायनं कृतम्। परिणामस्वरूपं चित्तोड् राज्ये अक्बरस्य शासनं सञ्जातम्। अस्मिन् समये संघर्षोपरान्ते महाराणा प्रतापेन वनं पलायनं कृतं। तस्य प्रतिज्ञा एषा आसीत्, यत् अहं चित्तोड् राज्यं मुगल शासकात् अक्बरात् यावत् न ग्रहीष्यामि तावत् प्रसादेषु न निवसिष्यामि। सुवर्ण-रजत पात्रेषु भोजनं न ग्रहीष्यामि। पर्यङ्केषु शयनं न करिष्यामि। स्व अन्तिमं क्षणं यावत् तेन प्रतिज्ञा एषा धरिता पालिता च। अस्मिन् काले सः एकस्मात् वनात् अन्यं वनम् अभ्रमत्। वने च तेन घासस्य रोटिकाः अपि खादिताः। किन्तु मुगलशासकस्य अक्बरस्य समक्षे स्वशिरः नमनं न कृतम्। वस्तुतः सः दृढव्रती, धैर्यशाली, बलशाली, नीतिज्ञश्च आसीत्। स्वमातृभूमि प्रति तस्य आगाधश्रद्धा आसीत्। अनेनैव तेन आजीवनं वनेषु निवासिते अपि। मुगलशासकेन अक्बरेण सह युद्धं कृतः। तेन सङ्कटकालेऽपि स्वकर्तव्यस्य पालनं कृतं। क्षुब्धा पीडितं स्वपरिवारजनान् दृष्ट्वा अपि सः स्वमातृभूरक्षाव्रतम् अपालयत्। कदापि कस्मिन्नापि क्षणे सः धैर्यस्य परित्यागः न कृतवान्, अपि तु साहसपूर्वकं पराक्रमेण कर्तव्यमार्गे खलु अतिष्ठत्। सम्राट् अक्बरोऽपि तस्य युद्धकौशलेन, पौरुषेण, साहसेन, धैर्येण च प्रभावितः आसीत्। अनेन सह तस्य नाम अतीव आदरेण गृह्णाति स्म। महाराणा प्रतापस्य समीपे चेतक् नामक एकः स्वामिभक्तः अश्वः आसीत्। तस्य वेगः वायुः एव अति तीव्रः अभवत्। अस्य साहसस्यापि गाथा अस्माकम् इतिहासग्रन्थेषु प्राप्यते। एकेन हिन्दी कविना तस्य वेगस्य प्रशंसा एवं कृत रणबीज चौकड़ी भर भर कर चेतक बन गया निराला था। राणा प्रताप के घोड़े से पड़ गया हवा का पाला था। अनेन चेतक नामक अश्वेन महाराणा प्रतापस्य स्वजीवनस्य अन्तिमं क्षणं यावत् साहाय्यं कृतम्। वस्तुतः सः उत्कृष्टः स्वामिभक्तः आसीत्। तदैव तेन महाराणा प्रतापस्य प्राणान् स्वजीवनमपि दत्त्वा रक्षिताः। एकदा महाराणा प्रतापः वने स्वपरिवारस्य सदस्यैः सह भोजनं करोति स्म। भोजने कासस्य रोटिकाः आसन्। तस्य बालकाः तां रोटिकां खादति स्म। तदैव तत्र कापि मार्जारिका आगता। तस्य बालकस्य च हस्तात् रोटिकां गृहीत्वा पलायिता। बालकः रोदितवान् उच्चस्वरेण। एतत् दृष्ट्वा प्रतापस्य हृदयं विदीर्णं जातम्। तेन सन्ध्यर्थम् अक्बरं प्रति पत्रमेकं प्रेषितम्। किन्तु सम्राट् अक्बरस्य सभायाम् एकः सभासदः प्रतापं प्रति अतीव श्रद्धावान् आसीत्। तेन प्रतापस्य पत्रस्य व्याख्या सभायाम् अन्यरूपेण कृत्वा महाराणा प्रतापस्य हृदयपरिवर्तनमपि कृतम्। परिणामे च तेन पुनः साम्राज्य अक्बरेण सह मृत्युपर्यन्तं युद्धस्य प्रतिज्ञा कृता। मृत्युसमये तस्य मनसि आसीत् काश मम वंशजः अपि अस्य देशस्य रक्षा कुर्युः। वस्तुतः तस्य देशभक्तिः अस्मान् सर्वान् भारतीयान् अद्यापि प्रेरिका वर्तते। धन्यवादः।
अद्भुतं महाराज, शोभन, बहु सम्यक्।
अद्भुतम्।
धन्यवादः।
Wonderful. Arvi, so can you please tell us who you are representing and whom you are talking about? So Arvi is 7 years old and Arya is 12 years old. They are learning Sanskrit for a very few days. Arya has been learning for 1.5 years. She is also learning Samaaropaha, which is the Sanskrit thesaurus. And Arvi has just started learning maybe 15 days or 18 days course that she had completed. And now she is speaking Sanskrit. All thanks to Rohit sir. Arvi, go ahead.
Yes. Today I'm going to talk about Bhagat Singh. Bhagat Singhस्य नामः आबालवृद्धं सर्वैः अपि ज्ञायते एव तस्य नामः स्मरणमात्रेण तस्य प्रेरणाप्रदं जीवनं नेत्रयोः पुरतः विलसति। मुहूर्ता ज्वलितं श्रेयः न च द्रुमयितं चिरम् इत्यस्य प्रत्यक्षम् उदाहरणम् आसीत् सः। क्रान्तिकारिणः तु सर्वदा प्राणत्यागम् एव स्पृहयन्ति। ये मरणात् भीतः न ते आयुषः चिन्तां किमर्थं कुर्युः इति आसीत् तस्य चिन्तनं। तस्य चर्म इच्छा कीदृशी आसीत् इति भवन्तः जानाति वा किम्? बान्धवान् मित्राणि वा द्रष्टुम् इच्छति स्म सः तु इच्छति स्म स्वतन्त्रं देशस्य कृते आत्मबलिदानः च अन्ते च स्वतन्त्र भारतः स्वप्राणावतीं दत्त्वा अमरः अपि अभवत्। तस्य बलिदानेन एकत्र यत्र आङ्ग्लः बहु प्रसन्नः आसन् तत्र एव अपरत्र एतेषां बलिदानेन सहस्राधिकः जनाः प्रेरिताः अभवन्। धन्यवादः।
Good job, Arvi, and good job, Arya, too, for supporting your little sister. Good job, both of you. Thank you so much for presenting us Maharana Pratap and Bhagat Singh. So next we have Chandrasekhar Azad.
Namaste. So I will be talking about Chandrasekhar Azad. चन्द्रशेखर आजादः भारतीय स्वतन्त्रता संग्रामस्य महानायकः एवं लोकप्रियः स्वतन्त्रता सेनानिः आसीत् चन्द्रशेखर आजाद महोदयः। अस्य जन्म 23 जुलै 1990 वर्षे मध्यप्रदेशस्य उन्नाव जनपदे बदरका नामकग्रामे अभवत्। तस्य पितुः नाम श्री वैजानाथः आसीत्। यदा चन्द्रशेखरः 11 वर्षदेशीयः आसीत्, जलियांवालाकाण्डस्य नृशंसताम श्रुत्वा सः क्रूरशासनस्य उन्मूलनाय कालान्तरे सः अध्ययन त्यक्त्वा स्वतन्त्रता आन्दोलने प्रविष्टवान्। तेन एव कारणेन सः बहुवारं कारागारम् अपि गतवान्। 25-90 वर्षे काकोरी षड्यन्त्रं तथा 17 डिसेम्बर् 28-90 वर्षे भगतसिंहेन राजगुरुणा च सह J.P. सैंडर्स् इत्याख्यस्य आङ्ग्लस्य शरीरे षड्गुलिकाः प्रवेशयित्वा लाला लजपतराय महोदयस्य मृत्योः प्रतिकारं स्वीकृतवान्। 31-90 वर्षे फेब्रुवरी मासस्य 27 दिनाङ्के समित्रेण सुखदेवराजेन सह आल्फ्रेड् पार्क् इलाहाबाद इत्यत्र उपविश्य मन्त्रणां कुर्वन् आसीत्। तस्मिन् एव समये नाट् बार्बरः अन्ये च आङ्ग्लसैनिकाः तेषाम् उपरि सर्वतः साहसा आक्रमणं कृतवन्तः। घण्टैकम् उभयतः गुलिकावृष्टिः सञ्जाताः। एकतः एकाकी आजादः, अन्यतः च बहवः शत्रवः। यदा गुलिकाः समाप्तप्रायाः अभवन्, तदा अन्तिमया गुलिकया मात्र 25-वर्षीयः सः स्वतन्त्ररूपी यज्ञे आत्मानं हविः कृत्वा आजाद् इति नाम सार्थकम् अकरोत्। धन्यवादः।
That was inspiring. Thank you, Aniruddha. Now,
एतत् श्रुत्वा गूस्बम्ब् आगतं, गूस्बम्ब् भवति। चन्द्रशेखर आजादस्य विषये एतादृशं शब्दानि श्रुत्वा सत्यं रोमहर्षानन्तरं अद्भुतम्। अनिरुद्धः समीचीनम्।
धन्यवादः।
Is Shreya ready?
maybe in the meanwhile, we can request Atharva to recite a poem.
धन्यवादः। नमस्ते। अहम् अद्य एकं गीतं वदामि। एतस्य नाम मातश्चन्द्र एकाकी। मातश्चन्द्र एकाकी कस्मात् गगने सञ्चरति। माता पितरौ गृहं विहाय रात्रौ सततं सञ्चरति। वायुः वेगेन तं नयति। सूर्यः किरणं स्थापयति। मेघो जलेन आर्द्रयति। न कोऽपि किं परिपालयति। अम्बा चन्दिरमा नयतु। अस्मद्गृहे स्थापयतु। तेन सहाहं क्रीडामि। खादामि पिबामि नन्दामि। अहं प्रतिदिनं नमस्ते धन्यवादः। अहं प्रतिदिनं संस्कृतं वदामि। भवान् अपि प्रतिदिनं संस्कृतं पठतु। धन्यवादः।
Adbhutam, Adbhutam.
अवश्यम् अवश्यम्। वयमपि प्रतिदिनं संस्कृतं पठामः। धन्यवादः।
Very nice, Atharva. You recited it really well. Bahala chanagittu. Shreya, do we have Shreya? Can you turn on your video, Shreya? Areva. Who do we have today?
Swami Vivekananda.
Okay, Shreya, go ahead.
Samichinam.
Samichinam.
स्वामी विवेकानन्दः आधुनिकभारतस्य निर्माणकर्तृषु युगपुरुषस्य विवेकानन्दस्य नाम सर्वोपरि अस्ति। सः न केवलं भारते अपितु सम्पूर्णविश्वे आध्यात्मलोकस्य प्रथर्मा कृतवान्। तस्य महापुरुषस्य जन्म 1863 तमे वर्षे अभवत्। विश्वनाथदत्तः तस्य पिता आसीत्। बाल्यकाले विवेकानन्दस्य नाम नरेन्द्रः आसीत्। बाल्यकालात् एव सः अतिमेधावी आसीत्। आध्यात्मविषये तस्य महती रुचिः आसीत्। नरेन्द्रः यदा स्नातकः अभवत् तदा तस्य पिता परलोकम् अगच्छत्। एकदा एकस्य सभायां सः रामकृष्णपरमहंस महोदयस्य स्पर्शम् अधिगत्य समाधितस्य अभवत्। तस्यैव गुरोः स्पर्शेन च तस्य समाधिः समाप्ता अभवत्। तस्मात् क्षणादेव नरेन्द्रः तं स्वगुरुरूपेण स्वीकृतवान्। तपः च प्रारब्धवान्। 1893 तमे वर्षे अमेरिकादेशे चिकागो नाम नगरे विश्वधर्म सम्मेलने अभवत्। तस्मिन् सम्मेलने भारतस्य प्रतिनिधित्वं कृतवान्। तस्मादेव कालात् तस्य कीर्तिः सर्वत्र प्रसृता अभवत्। विवेकानन्दः लोकसेवायाः उद्देश्यार्थं रामकृष्ण मिशन् इति संस्थायाः स्थापितवान्। 1902 तमे वर्षे अयं दिव्यपुरुषः पञ्चतत्त्वं गतः। नमस्ते।
So amazing. It's so
Very
amazing.
sweet. Yes.
Samichinam. Samichinam. Adbhutam. It's so wonderful to see all these blossoming
national
little
leaders.
blossoming little flowers, so well presenting the freedom fighters, and it's so inspiring to see you speak so well in such a short time, because both Arvi and Shreya, they've been learning Sanskrit for less than a month now. They've attended like a 15-day course, a spoken Sanskrit course, and they've already picked up so much. Atharva, Arya, and Aniruddha, they've been learning for a while. And it's wonderful. Rohit ji, thank you very much. Kudos to you for inspiring the kids to take up this kind of task, right? So they were so enthusiastic about taking up this activity and presenting it on the Samskrta Samaaropaha. It's wonderful to see the way they present it today. Thank you all.
So we have our Sanskrit courses starting from next week. We have weekend batches and weekday batches. So please do contact us, write to us at courses@carnaticconservatoryofparis.com to know more about the courses, and you can learn from the Guru Rohit Sharma ji himself. And you have seen how in just matter of 15 days kids are able to speak Sanskrit. So that in itself motivates all of us to learn more, to learn Sanskrit and propagate the language and in turn our Indian culture. So now, continuing with Rasa through dance, we unfortunately could not host Gayatri Kannan, Dr. Gayatri Kannan ma'am, because of her ill health, because of health reasons. So we really miss you, ma'am. But thank you so much for this video that you have sent as your message, and sharing your love towards the art and to the field of art, and speaking about Rasa through dance today. Thank you so much again, as part of Indian Embassy, in association with Indian Embassy in France and Carnatic Conservatory of Paris. We sincerely thank you. Pranams to you. Thank you so much for your the short notice you have sent us a beautiful explanation about Rasa through dance. To talk about Gayatri ma'am, Dr. Gayatri hails from an artistic family. Her mother, Srimati Uma Sriram, is the senior most disciple of Dr. Padma Subramaniam and a lecturer at Nrityodaya. Her father, Sri T.S. Sriram, a retired company executive, handles the bhajans and Vedic heritage classes at Nrityodaya. Gayatri is one of the senior most disciples of Dr. Padma Subramaniam, director Nrityodaya for dance, and Vidwan Sri S. Rajam for music. So Padma Subramaniam was the first person to bring sculptures. You have witnessed Rasa through sculptures. So she was the one who gave life to sculptures. She studied the sculptures in different temple architectures and brought them to life through Karanas. So at Nrityodaya, she completed the Nritya Praveshika certificate course, Nritya Visharada diploma course, and Nritya Shali post-diploma certificate course, specially dealing with the 108 Karanas of Natya Shastra. Apart from solo dance recitals, she accompanies her guru in several dance numbers and group productions. She's also the main singer for Dr. Padma Subramaniam's dance concerts and has extensively traveled within India and abroad, including USA, Canada, UK, France, Portugal, Switzerland, Sri Lanka, Singapore, Malaysia, Cambodia, and Australia. She has presented several lecture demonstrations. She assists her guru in all her research activities as well. So now we would be presenting one of her videos wherein you would be able to witness Rasa through dance. And I have to mention this, in spite of her ill health, she took that extra effort to share her thoughts and share this knowledge to our international audience today. Thank you so much, ma'am, again.
Sadgurubhyo Namaha. My pranams to my Guru Dr. Padma Subramaniam. My namaskarams to all the scholars who are present today as part of this webinar, and to all the Rasikas who are here present to celebrate Samskrta Divas. My heartfelt gratitude to Srimati Bhavana and Sri Pradyumna, who have invited me to present this paper on this wonderful day of Samskrta Divas. Being a student of Sanskrit, I feel very honored. Thank you. After listening to the inspiring talks on Rasa through the various aspects of literature and performing arts, I will be presenting Rasa through dance, which is Rasa through the eyes of Bharata Muni, who has given to this world the encyclopedic work called Natya Shastra, which encompasses in itself all that has been spoken about today: literature, music, percussion, dance, and theatre. Natya Shastra is the earliest extant literature on theatre art available to us. The work has 36 chapters and covers all aspects of theatre. According to Bharata, the ultimate goal of any art form is rasa. The closest translation for rasa is aesthetic experience. Bharata says, "Na hi rasadhrite kaschit arthaha pravartate," which means no poetic meaning proceeds without rasa. Natya or theatre, which includes dance too, should lead to an experience of that aesthetic bliss. The formula that Bharata gives for rasa nishpattihi, or for producing rasa, is vibhava, anubhava, vyabhichari samyogat rasa nishpattihi, which means a combination of vibhava, anubhava and vyabhichari gives rise to rasa. To understand this, we need to understand what a bhava is. Bhavayantiti bhavaha. Bhava is that which is felt. It is a feeling. Bharata enumerates 8 sthai bhavas or durable psychological states of mind. These sthai bhavas are something one can relate to even in real life. Each of the sthai bhavas produce a particular rasa in the spectators. The sthai bhavas are rati or love leading to Sringara rasa, hasa or laughter leading to hasya rasa, shoka or sorrow leading to karuna rasa, krodha or anger leading to raudra rasa, utsaha or enthusiasm leading to veera rasa, bhaya, fear leading to bhayanaka rasa, jugupsa or disgust leading to bibhatsa rasa, and vismaya or wonder leading to adbhuta rasa. For these rasas to be experienced by the audience, the sthai bhavas alone are not enough. Every sthai bhava needs a vibhava or a cause for it to be created. Once the cause for the sthai bhava is established, it evokes certain reactions or consequences, and these are called anubhavas. To add to these are the vyabhichari bhavas, which are transient, fleeting emotions which further strengthen the sthai bhava and disappear. When all these come together in the right proportion, then the rasa is created and experienced. For example, when rati or love is the sthai bhava, the vibhavas enumerated by Bharata are the presence of a hero or a heroine, conducive atmosphere, pleasant season, ornaments, flowers, cool breeze, and so on. This is the cause for rati or love to blossom. The anubhavas will be lovelorn glances, delicate movement of the limbs, sweet and soft words, and so on. The vyabhichari bhavas can be dreaming, yearning, fear, anxiety, sleeplessness, restlessness, fatigue, and so on. These transient emotions or the vyabhichari bhavas are to be expressed in a fleeting way so that they strengthen the main emotion of love. Hence, a combination of all these elements create Sringara rasa. Apart from these, Bharata mentions what are called as sattvika bhavas, which are physiological reactions to intense psychological factors. These are 8 in number, and they are stamba, which is stupor, romancha, horripilation, sweda, perspiration, swarasada, change in voice, vepatuhu, trembling, vaivaranya, change in color, ashru, tears, and pralaya, fainting. The anubhavas or reactions are voluntary actions. They can be taught. On the other hand, the sattvika bhavas are involuntary actions. Hence, the vibhavas, anubhavas, and the vyabhichari bhavas can be taught to an artist by a teacher to be performed on stage. But the sattvika bhavas have to be felt and expressed and cannot be taught. It is only through experience that an artist can emote through the sattvika bhavas. I would like to show a small example for rati. To take up the vibhava first, let me take up a line from one of the songs which occurs in the Viralimalai Kuravanji, which was a research product of Srimati Shyamala Balakrishnan. The line is in the form of the heroine talking to her Sakhi or the friend, and she says, "Oh Sakhi, I have fallen in love with the hero whom she sees as he goes in a procession," and she addresses the Sakhi. Sakhiye nan moha manen Sakhiye सखिये नान मोहमानेन सखिये. So here the Vibhava or the cause is the heroine looking at the hero and she falls for him and she is in love. Now to take up the Anubhava, let me take another song, it's a Padam, where again the heroine talks to the Sakhi, she addresses the Sakhi, and here we see the effects of having fallen in love with the hero. She has palpitation, Sakhi na mohamane Sakhiye. So here the Vibhava or the cause is the heroine looking at the hero and she falls for him and she is in love. Now to take up the Anubhava, let me take another song, it's a Padam, where again the heroine talks to the Sakhi, she addresses the Sakhi, and here we see the effects of having fallen in love with the hero. She has palpitation, she has restlessness, and she is addressing the Sakhi and she says, please go and bring my lord to me. Padari varg durg dindan avi padek de vagai solladi சற்றே நில்லடி மனம் கல்லோடி அடி தழுக்கு கோலுக்கு மீனுக்கென்ன போடி பதறி வருகு தூருதிந்தன் ஆவி பதைக்கு தே வகை சொல்லடி. So the reactions of having fallen in love, she has palpitation, she's just melting in her heart, all thinking about the Nayaka. To do the Vyabhichari Bhavas, let me take up another line, a composition of my Guru's mother, Srimati Meenakshi Subramaniam, where it is a young heroine who is married and her lord has gone on business, he has gone elsewhere to another place and she is waiting for him. Realizing that he has not returned for a very long time, she is scared. Being a young heroine, she feels fear, she has a sense of doubt that probably he has fallen for another girl. So all these reactions, all these Vyabhichari Bhavas, all these transient emotions are not permanent. They are just fleeting emotions which pass through her mind, which only shows the depth of her love for her Lord. Marudinam pirindar marandarodi Sukumaran Shringaran Gambiran Atidhiran வேறு பெண்ணை சேர்ந்தாரோடி நினைத்தாலே மனம் அருவெருகுதடி பயமேகுதடி மிகஷீனம் பெருகுதடி நெஞ்சம் மிக தாபம் கொண்டேங்குதே எந்த நெஞ்சம் மிக தாபம் கொண்டேங்குதே. So there is an array of emotions in her mind. She feels disgust when she thinks that probably he has gone to another girl. She is angry with him and finally she feels helpless. So these are various Vyabhichari Bhavas which only help in strengthening the main Bhava, which is the Sthai Bhava of love. The sthai bhava, which is strengthened through these other bhavas, is ultimately responsible for determining the rasa or the essence of enjoyment for the spectator. It is the experience of tasting the various psychological effects. Rasa is the resulting essence of all the shades of bhavas. Bharata himself gives us a parallel. He compares this rasa with the rasa or taste of the essence resulting from the combination of various spices, vegetables and such other articles. Each of the 6 tastes is produced by articles such as sugar, spices and vegetables. They get combined to produce an enjoyable taste. In the same way, sthai bhava attains the quality of rasa due to the combination of its vibhava, anubhava and vyabhichari bhava. The term rasa is given because it is capable of being tasted. Bharata says that just as well disposed people can enjoy the taste of food and attain pleasure and satisfaction, cultured people can also taste the sthai bhava when they see them communicated through the proper channels and thus derive pleasure out of it. It is in general called natya rasa. This is how sthai bhavas are promoted to the state of rasas. The sthai bhavas are the masters of the vyabhichari bhavas, vibhavas and the anubhavas. The causes, consequences and the complementary psychological states of mind depend on the sthai bhava. Bharata gives us the parallel of a king receiving the epithet instead of the attendant and the guru being considered superior to the disciples. In the same way, he says that the sthai bhavas are the most important in deriving the rasas. Now, who experiences the rasa? The one who experiences the rasa is called a sahridaya, or the one who has a similar heart. Abhinavagupta defines sahridaya as those people who are capable of identifying with the subject matter as the mirror of their hearts has been polished through constant repetition and study of poetry, and who sympathetically respond in their own hearts. Those people are known as sahridaya or sensitive spectators. According to Abhinavagupta, a sahridaya must have taste or rasikatva, sahridayatva or aesthetic compatibility, power to visualize, intellectual background, contemplative heart and the necessary psychophysical condition and the capacity to identify oneself with the aesthetic object. Hence, a person sitting in the audience when has a sensitivity for aesthetics and is sensitive to the subject that is portrayed through the performance of a dance or drama, then he is able to experience the rasa or aesthetic enjoyment. The emotion portrayed could be love, sorrow, disgust or wonder. It gets translated to the sahridaya and he identifies himself with the situation and experiences ananda. When in real life one goes through a tragedy, it does not lead to ananda, but the same when witnessed as part of a performance, it evokes a momentary sense of happiness, and this is rasa. According to Abhinavagupta, the pleasure that one derives out of a real work of art is no less than the aesthetic bliss. True spiritual bliss is derived by forgetting the I-ness in a person. Bharata mentions that any natya or any performance should elevate the spectator to a higher plane. Hence, when one watches a natya performance, at least momentarily he forgets his self, the I, and is immersed in a sense of happiness which is otherwise not felt in his daily life. That is rasa. Performing arts are called fine arts. It is meant to kindle the finer elements in man. When a natya performance creates such a rasa in the audience, which can elevate and make them more refined, then that is true rasa And such a performance, be it drama or dance, has achieved the true purpose of an art as mentioned by Bharata. I once again thank Srimati Bhavana and Pradyumna for having invited me to be part of this Samskrta Samaaropaha. Thank you.
So wonderful. There are, I think we are having a blessed day here with every panelist enriching us with more and more wonderful information about rasas. This only goes on to show the depth of rasa as a concept and how this can be brought about across multiple dimensions. So we move ahead with our program today. So next, I invite Bhavana Pradyumna to present Rasa in Kavya. Bhavana Pradyumna, to introduce Bhavana Pradyumna to the audience, Bhavana Pradyumna is an accomplished Carnatic musician and a Bharatanatyam dancer. She is the founder president of Carnatic Conservatory of Paris, based out of France, our dear association. It's an internationally recognized organization promoting Indian music and dance. Having a master's degree in Carnatic music from the University of Madras, she has worked as an artist affiliate at the Emory University, Atlanta, USA, from 2011 to 2014. She has introduced for the very first time Indian music and dance and instrument in a French conservatory, thus creating history in Europe. She is the author of revolutionary learning book for children called Children's Carnatic, released globally on different platforms like Amazon, Google, Flipkart, and many more. The book is released in 3 international languages, English, Spanish, and French, and 3 Indian languages, Sanskrit, Tamil, and Kannada. Her project, Bhagavad Gita Doodles, is recognized by embassies of India in France, Reunion, Mauritius, Congo, Finland, and Estonia. Doodle videos are released weekly on YouTube channel Carnatic Conservatory of Paris, which is tweeted and reshared by the embassies. She has rendered many concerts in the last 18 years in India, USA, and Europe, being an All India radio artist entitled Ramanuja Paduka Sevaka for her contributions in the field of Carnatic music. Bhavana also provides vocal support to Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, and Mohiniyattam Arangetrams and programs. Bhavana provides classes for all ages online. And you can learn more about Bhavana and her projects on www.bhavanapradyumna.net. Few of her other publications are Approach to Music, The Indian Way, and Raga and Yoga, Volume 1 and 2. Approach to Music, The Indian Way, Volume 1 and 2, and Raga and Yoga. She is awarded the Youth Icon Award by SAIVA, South Indian Women's Association, and Global Achievers Award for 2020. Carnatic Conservatory of Paris has been organizing Sanskrit for all levels under the able guidance under the vision of Bhavana Pradyumna. So Bhavana, I request you now to present Rasa through Kavya.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Pradyumna. So
I should say it's an honor, it's a privilege to be introducing my wife to everyone.
You know that we, as a conservatory, we both are working very hard and all by ourselves, right? So of course, with the support of embassy, but as a conservatory, we work together. Yes. Thank you so much, Pradyumna, for that wonderful introduction. So to talk about Kavya, a very interesting subject. I had studied during my bachelor's. Sanskrit was my first language, and that is how I was studying about different kavyas and their perspective. But of course, it's been a long break, and now Rasa gave me an opportunity to revive that knowledge and to go back through those learning and through those that experience again. Again, Kavya is one vast chapter. So let me share my screen to explain more about Kavya. So, Rasa in Kavya. Sanskrit is such a vast language that Kavya in itself can take not just months but years of conversation and exchange of knowledge and rasa with talking about Kavya. So, what is Kavya? Kavya is a highly decorative Sanskrit literary style employed in the court epics of India from the early centuries. And few of the great masters of Sanskrit Kavya are Ashwaghosha, Kalidasa, Bana, Dandin, Magha, Bhavabhuti, and Bharavi. And there are many more. I will be giving you a very short glimpse of every scholar, poet from our Indian culture who have immensely contributed to Sanskrit and literature. Regarding the probable date of Ashwaghosha, fortunately, most scholars are in agreement. It is generally supposed that he flourished during the age of the great king Kanishka, who was a protagonist of the Mahasangika sect of Buddhism. The generally accepted date of King Kanishka is between 78 and 150 AD. Ashwaghosha has been assigned to about 100 AD. As a poet, Ashwaghosha was a versatile genius, a monk and a missionary, a philosopher and a theologian, a grammarian and a linguist, a rhetorician and a metrician, musician, an instrumentalist, a Hinayanist and a Mahayanist, a scholar, a devotee, a poet and a dramatist. As a matter of fact, he was a perfect emblem of the grand and glorious eternal idea of harmony, Samanvaya. His the rasa that he has brought through his poems are one of the poems of from one of the chapters of Ashwaghosha. I am taking this verse, which I will be singing for you. Seturaga Begade. यस्य प्रसूतौ गिरिराज किला वाताहतनूरिव भूश्चचाल सचन्दन चोत्पल पद्मगर्भापपात वृष्टिर्गगनादन So that was a very short flare of Adbhuta Rasa that is depicted through this poem, through this Mahakavya Ashwaghosha, which describes the birth of Lord Buddha. So when this shows that when Gautama Buddha was born, the earth, though fastened to the Himalayas, the king of mountains, trembled with joy and excitement like a sharp driven by the wind, and from the cloudy sky a shower fell, scented with sandalwood and resplendent with blue and pink lotuses. So all this definitely gave us a wow factor, right? So that is what Adbhuta means. And Begada Raga definitely brings that beauty of Adbhuta Rasa. and one of the prolific composers, definitely, who is renowned, is Kalidasa, who has written multiple poems, kavyas, mahakavyas. So few of them are Abhignana Shakuntalam, Raghuvamsha, Meghaduta, Vikramorvashiyam, Kumarasambhava. Kalidasa was born in Kashmir but moved southwards and sought the patronage of local rulers to prosper. So earlier days it was always the Raja or the king who patronized the scholars in a artistic setup. Just before we organized Geet and Nritya, this is what we were speaking about, like how during the Rajashraya the scholars were always they were sarvatra pujyate, vidwan sarvatra pujyate. So a scholar is worshipped everywhere. So that is how they prospered. They were taken care of the everyday life, and that is how they could focus on what their intellectual demanded for. So Kalidasa had a profound knowledge not only in philosophy, law, economics, and zoology, but also in music and fine arts. Kalidasa's contribution to Sanskrit poetry remains unparalleled. Sun Temple inscriptions dated 473 CE is the earliest paleographical evidence of Kalidasa. Aihole inscription located in present-day Karnataka date 634 CE mentioned his name. Later, Kalidasa's Sanskrit plays influenced the late 18th and 19th century European literature. Father of modern medicine, Sir William Osler always kept on his desk a poem written by Kalidasa. Talking about Abhignana Shakuntala, one of the very famous works of Kalidasa, which inspired immeasurable poets across the world to write about love stories. In the Shringara Rasa was at work. So Shringara Rasa played a prominent role in this kavya. In each successive acts and scenes, the characters played their roles through variety of bhavas, but the dominance of Rati, Shoka, Utsaha and Vismaya makes the play more receptive. Hence, at successive acts, well-informed audience experiences heightened emotions and rasa that has a combination of love and karuna. Simultaneously, Veera and Adbhuta rasas play their subservient role. Separation of Shakuntala from his beloved creates imbalance in the environment, influencing the emotional response of the audience. Her longing, so what the story goes like this. Dushyanta would be hunting in a forest, and he falls to the beauty of Shakuntala, and he falls in love with her, and then eventually she gives him a ring saying that I will be back to ask for your hand for the wedding. But eventually she would be cursed by Durvasa Muni, because she was lost in the thought of not going back to Dushyanta. So that is when Durvasa Muni, who would give her a curse that she would forget her love. And then when he realized that it was her true love that she was really longing for, that is when he would say that, okay, you will only unless Dushyanta sees the ring that he had given you, he will recollect your love. I mean, he would remember you back again. So this the entire story brings about immense, all the sthai bhavas, all the rasas, all the emotions that we can see in one play. So the separation of Shakuntala from her beloved creates imbalance in the environment, influencing the emotional response of the audience. Her longing for her husband, Shoka Bhava, which is the sorrow, moves the audience towards Karuna Rasa. Once she reunites with the king, Dushyanta, harmony is restored, the audience gets the heightened delight. Talking about, so now we just saw different emotions that we could experience in Abhignana Shakuntala. Of course, Abhignana Shakuntala is such a huge kavya, mahakavya, that one kavya in itself can take many years of study and exploration. So since the time is short, I'm just giving you a glimpse of how great our mahakavyas were and are still today. Next, I would be talking about Shringara. We saw Adbhuta from Ashwaghosha, and now we will be looking at Shringara in Meghaduta. I have chosen Kalyani Raga for this, as even Mysore Manjunath sir was describing how beautiful Kalyani is and how that emotion is evoked through that raga. So this is where I would love to combine raga, rasa and kavya. निविबन्धोच्चवसितशिथिलम् यत्र बिम्बाधराणां क्षोमं रागादनिभृतकरेष्वाक्षिपत्सु प्रियेषु अर्चितस्तु अर्चितस्तुङ्गानभिमुखमपि प्राप्यं प्राप्य रत्नप्रदीपान हविमूढानां हविमूढानां भवति विफलप्रेरणा चूर्णमुष्टिः विफलप्रेरणा चूर्णमुष्टिः So here Megha means cloud and Duta is the messenger. Today when we see a cloud or a pigeon, we know for a fact that it acts as a messenger. But back then, to imagine something like that for the very first time, doing something for the very first time, is something so intellectually amazing, definitely. The Meghaduta describes how a yaksha, a nature spirit who had been banished by his master to a remote region for a year, asked a cloud to take his message of love to his wife. So the yaksha is a heavenly body. So he's now banished from the heaven to the earth, or to the earthly connection, and he is longing for his wife and asks clouds to take his message. So this poem became well known in Sanskrit literature and inspired many other poets to write similar poems known as messenger poems or the Sandesha Kavya. So this was one of this Abhignana Shakuntala or Meghaduta. They are amazing contributions of Kalidasa to this, to our Sanskrit literature. And I would also like to quote this: Kalidasa, one of the very, very famous compositions of Kalidasa or kavyas of Kalidasa is Shamala Dandaka, which I had the fortune of learning from my mother. She tuned this. Padmamalini Raghunandan is my mother, my guru. She tuned this, and that is the earliest introduction for me as a musician. And yeah, so this was tuned to a Raga Malika, and during the school times, Shamala Dandaka, there was a competition as to how we had to recite Shamala Dandaka, and it was my mother who tuned to Shamala Dandaka to different Carnatic ragas. And that won me, that gave me first prize in the inter school competition. So I think those little things definitely makes a lot of impact in one's life. To take this up, as maybe today, if I'm presenting this, maybe that has influenced me a lot. Definitely. Thank you, Amma, for giving me this experience. I would like to sing that for you. माणिक्य वीणा मुपलालयन्ते मदालसा मञ्जुळवाग्विलासा महेन्द्र नीलद्युति कोमलांगी मातंग कन्या मनसा स्मरामि चतुर्भुजे चन्द्रकलावतंसे कुचोदते कुङ्कुमरागशूणे पुण्ड्रेक्षुपाशाङ्कुश पुष्पबाणहस्ते नमस्ते जगदेकमातः माता मरकतश्याम मातङ्गी मधुशालिनी कुर्यात् कटाक्षं कल्याणी कदम्बवनवासिनी जय मातङ्गतनये जय नीलोत्फलद्युते जय संगीत रसिके संगीत रसिके संगीत रसिके संगीत रसिके संगीत रसिके चारु गोरो जना पंक के लीललामाभिरामे सुरमे रमे प्रोल्लसद्भालिका मौक्तिक श्रेणिका चंद्रिका मंडलोद्भासे लावण्य तुण्डस्थलन्यस्त कस्तूरिका पत्ररेखा समुद्भूत सौरभ्य सम्भ्रान्त पृङ्गाङ्गन गीत सान्द्रे भवन्मन्त्रतन्त्रे स्वरे भास्वरे कुन्दपुष्पद्युति स्निग्धदन्तावलि निर्मलालोलकल्लोल सम्मेलन स्मेर शोणाधरे चारुवीणाधरे पक्वबिम्बाधरे हे जगन्मातृके पाहि मां पाहि मां पाहि मां देवी तुभ्यं नमो तुभ्यं नमः. So definitely you could experience bhakti and shanta through this Shamala Dandaka. And continuing this, the next prolific composer again was Banabhatta. Banabhatta's Harsha Charita and Kadambari were amazingly brought out the beauty of Sanskrit. And when we say Mahabharata, when we talk about Mahabharata, we say that there is nothing out in the world that is not there in the Mahabharata. So that is how that is what the knowledge that Banabhatta carried. It says Banos Chittam Jagat Sarvam. So the mind of Bana had everything that was in the world. So he was the Asthana Kavi in the court of King Harshavardhana, who reigned during the 606 to 647 CE Christ era. Next was Dandin, Dashakumara Charita, Avanti Sundari, and Kavya Darsha. So Kavya Darsha is a poet which talks about mirrors, which talk about mirrors. He was a great grandson of Damodara, a court poet from Vidarbha who served among others the Pallava king Simhavishnu and the king Durvinita of the Western Ganga dynasty. Kavya Darsha was a beautiful Mahakavya that is a gift of Dandin. So the next is Bhavabhuti. So Bhavabhuti is Uttara Ramacharitra, Malati Madhava, and so the present scholars, sorry, 1 minute. So Mahavira Charita, Malati Madhava, and Uttara Ramacharita, those were his Mahakavyas the kavyas that he presented, and the present scholars compare this poet to Shakespeare, but it's very odd that he is compared to Shakespeare, but rather it's the other way, because Bhavabhuti lived in the 7th century while Shakespeare lived in the 16th century. So that is how great Bhavabhuti was and is till now, and his compositions, he spoke mostly about the Ramayana. That is why you see the image. He spoke about, he has written he was inspired by the Ramayana, and that is how we have this Uttara Ramacharitra. And Malati Madhava is again a love story between Malati and Madhava. So that's short introductions for you to get maybe inspired to learn more about our historic poets from different centuries. And the next would be Bharavi, who wrote Kiratarjuniya. His poetry is characterized by its intricate styles and ethereal expressions. His name, along with the great poet and dramatist in the Sanskrit language Kalidasa's name, is mentioned in the Chalukya stone inscription dated 634 CE found at Aihole, located in the present-day Karnataka. And the next is Magha, whose Shishupala Vadha is based on Mahabharata episode where the defiant king Shishupala is beheaded by Krishna's chakra. So Shishupala was one of the demons, and Krishna would behead him with his chakra, the Sudarshana chakra. He's thought to have been inspired by and is compared often with Bharavi. There is a saying which says, Upama Kalidasasya Bharaver Artha Gauravam Dandinaha Padalalityam Maghe Santi Trayogunaha, which means Kalidasa's poetry was famous for similes. like comparisons, comparing one to the other, and Bharavi's with the depth of meaning. So Artha Gauravam. So we give so much of respect to what he means through his poetry. And Dandin's wordplay was famous. And in Magha, it says that all three qualities were found in Magha's kavyas. So that shows how beautiful the kavyas are, and definitely this just shows how rich our Sanskrit kavyas are. And of course, there are different translations available, and definitely we have a lot of opportunity to bring these Mahakavyas to different international languages as well. So with this, I present you a very short demonstration of rasa through kavya. Namaste, dhanyawadaha.
Thank you so much, Bhavana. This brings us to the end of today's event, Samskrta Samaaropaha. The day it is worth reflecting back. It's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Madam and Monsieur Fioza, they gave us such wonderful insights into Subhashitas and how Subhashita inspires different rasas, mainly focusing on Hasya rasa is how they elaborated upon. And Madam Filiosa was also able to present how she has written a book on Sanskrit grammar using unusual or not normal examples of different subhashitas. Then we moved on with our event where Dr. Mysore Manjunath Anna was not only able to invoke different rasas through music, he was also able to bring in that research dimension to it by questioning, can every emotion be invoked just by music, or should music be combined with the right lyrics, the right composition, and a whole presentation to invoke those rasas or emotions? And then we had Dr. Dr. S. Karthik, who so beautifully demonstrated how Laya can be so aptly. An Aditala is not just an Aditala, it's not just a cycle of 8, but that cycle of 8 can be played very differently to bring about a Hasya Rasa against a Patho feeling, right? So he was able to demonstrate that so well. We had Dr. Chudamani Nagopal, who was able to share her immense work of research on
Ramani Nandagopal.
Chudamani Nandagopal, who was able to bring about her immense work on Ramappa temple and temple architecture, and the emphasis on actor, art, and audience, how all three should come together to really admire or interpret or even present or absorb a rasa or to be lost in a rasa. How all three elements are important is what Dr. Chudamani Nandagopal emphasized on. We really had planned this for a 2.5 hour event. The event was so elaborate, and we had such rich knowledge coming through this event that we really had to break and continue this. And now this being the second half of the event, it's already well into 90 minutes since we started. So in the second half of the event, in the first half of the event, we also had Naman sir, Naman Upadhyay from Indian Embassy in France, who was so beautifully able to outline the historicity of the Sanskrit language in France and the importance of Sanskrit language for all the Indologists here in Europe. And in the second half, we wonderfully saw beautiful presentations by young kids. They were able to recite poems. They were able to put forth their inner patriotism through presenting different freedom fighters. We saw Azad, Bhagat Singh, and Maharana Pratap today with us. Thank
Swami
you,
Vivekananda, not to forget some of the
Swami Vivekananda as well. Thank you so much, kids. It was so wonderful to see all of you present such wonderful, inspiring models, characters in front of us. And then we had Dr. Gayatri Kannan elaborating on how rasas are dealt with in in the Natya Shastra of Bharata. And Bhavana Pradyumna just concluded the event by presenting rasas through kavya, by enthralling us through beautiful musical presentations, and also introducing us to kavis, mahakavis, and some of their kavyas and mahakavyas. Mahakavyas are the larger epics of in the Sanskrit language. So it was a very enriching event. I think I'm the most blessed person here to be sitting here and enjoying end to end every bit of it. I thank all the audience who are here all along and who made it possible, who joined back really to continue our second session on the same day. I would also want to thank all the panelists who had joined us today. My sincere thanks to Rohit ji, who is our Sanskrit teacher. Rohit ji, thank you so much. He has inspired us, he has inspired the kids to be presenting all of this today. And he gave a wonderful speech on the importance of Sanskrit language and how relevant it is even today. And how it is only set to grow in future is what he emphasized on. And I would like, this would not have been possible without contributions from Prasanna Keshava of Nambara Studios, who supported us in audio recording, mixing of the theme song, and initial presentation of the event. We deeply thank Karthik Anna, Ghatam Dr. S. Karthik, to have wonderfully composed the theme song. And it is so inspiring for us. Every time we hear the song, we want to do more to Samskritam. That's how wonderful it is. It sounds simple, but it's very intricate when you look at the grammar of the laya that has been used by Karthik Anna. And I would love to thank Sarvesh Karthik, Dr. Ghatam, Dr. S. Karthik's son, who presented the theme song, final presentation, who provided us. And Ishani Lasya has all of Eka Unity, Portugal, has been a wonderful support in providing, in generating the flyers and sharing the flyer details with all of us. And we kept on adding people and increasing the number of iterations, and she always did it with a smile. And I hope I haven't missed any.
Yes, we have our wonderful children who have helped us.
I was about to come there. I hope I haven't missed anyone else. I would love to really thank my beautiful kids, our beautiful kids. They have been so wonderful today all along. Today we sat down at 11 in the morning, and it's 6 in the evening, and we are still in front of our laptops. We have been conducting events after events, and there have been such lovely kids taking care of themselves and not really making much noise, and really helping us through this. So they are the real presenters today. And especially Samskrta Samaaropaha would not have been possible without, definitely with the grace of God, but without the amazing passion, dedication, and can-do attitude what Bhavana brings to the table. So we got a confirmation from embassy 3 days back, saying that can we go ahead and present a Samskrta Samaaropaha, or can we do something for a Sanskrit day? And we just had 3 days, and in 3 days, what she has put together is an almost 6-hour event, a 5-hour event, and it's just amazing. The amount of content, the kind of people, the panelists, such esteemed panelists to be coming and associating themselves with Carnatic Conservatory of Paris. Such wonderful people and support for us, our families who came together and have supported us through this event. It's just wonderful to see her energy and dedication to this event and for the propagation of Indian culture. For this, all she wants to do is spread the beauty of Indian culture across the world, right? So it today it's an evidence of her love and passion for the Indian culture. Thank you one and all for joining this event. So we finish here with this. Dhanyavadaha.
स्वरं लयं शुभं शिवं वरं नवं स्वरं लयं शुभं शिवं वरं नवं भावरागताल सङ्गीतं सुखं भावरागताल सङ्गीतं सुखं संस्कृतं भजेऽहं काव्यकला भरित संस्कृतं भजेऽहं संस्कृतं भजेऽहं संस्कृतं भजेऽहं संस्कृतं भजेऽहं संस्कृतं भजेऽहम्.
Namaste.